Yo, good evening, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the 5 spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, Queens. This is your man and homie, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, YouTuber, creator, host with the most misunderstood lonely nomad, unstoppable independent podcaster, and of course, Queens, New York native, who is also a New York Mets fan from Laurelton, Queens, New York. And yes, you're now rocking, tuning in, streaming, and the Meet Ratchet Avenue podcast live and direct from StreamYard and alongside YouTube. If you miss any episodes whatsoever, please feel free to do some catching up on certain episodes that's already out right now. And of course, YouTube channel of G Money Stacks 555 for more live video episode podcast recordings. Leave a like and a comment along with the topics that's being discussed, and of course, I'll handle the rest after this recording is done. And um, yeah. Before I even start the show, man, you know, this week is going to be the official week of winters, because we're gonna get some snow on Friday and Saturday. So you, so you folks out there might want to be prepared to have your salt on deck, so you don't have to worry about anybody getting hurt on the sideways, no sidewalks, the driveways, all that stuff. So have your salt ready, and of course, um, be prepared to shovel some snow. I don't know how much snow we're going to be getting, but just be prepared. Just to let you know right here. Now that I got that out the way, want to actually get into some transit stuff, man. We got a whole bunch of topics to talk about in this show today. So, um, all right, let's get started and cut to the chase to the New York Mass Transit files right here. Let's go. Excuse me. All right, first things first, man. Let's get started with this. Um, Now let's do a little clarification here. So, according to the New York Post, two lawsuits trying to force Governor Kathy Hochul to enact congestion pricing should be dismissed because technically the controversial plan was never canceled. Her lawyers say court filing. It's a case of semantics that Hochul's lawyers are using to try to convince a Manhattan judge to lose the dueling suits filed by pro congestion pricing advocates against her. Hochul famously slammed the brakes on the plan, which would toll drivers $15 entering Manhattan below 59th Street just before it was due to be implemented in June. It she claimed it was unfairly burdened it hold on unfairly burdened people already struggling with flailing economy, which is true. She framed the move as an indefinite pause on the long awaited proposal. Her lawyers argued that the related lawsuits now against her misread a uh, statute, no state, yeah, state statutes, yeah, and mischaracterized Governor Hochul's pause as a final agency determination. She did not say she planned to veto the project or that the pause would be permanent, her lawyer said. Even if it were reasonable to call the pause a de facto final decision, any resulting alleged harm is impermissibly speculative, according to the court filing. The suits are being used as a vehicle to litigate the wisdom of a discretionary, non final policy decision by the executive branch and are seeking to tie up the courts over a difference of opinion, the filing said. Her lawyers say the proper forum for the disagreement is in the political realm and that dissenters can at the voting machine, not the courts. But one of the plaintiffs, the Pro Mass Transit Riders Alliance, called her argument incoherent and embarrassing. The group's lawsuit claims Hochul broke the state's change law when she enacted the pause, leaving more cars on the road. Her lawyers argue the pause is temporary, yet the governor said it's indefinite, which by definition implies a permanent pause is also possible on the governor's whim. The group posted on social media, in quotes, sounds pretty arbitrary and capricious to us. Representative Jenny, Representative Jerry Nadler, supported the post that he thinks the plan will move forward. Hochul's indefinite pause on it has left $500 million in tolling equipment collecting dust. The MTA also had to on major construction and rehab plans once the expected $15 billion in revenue from the tolling scheme was no longer a sure bet. Um, and sorry that you hear my stomach. Sorry that you heard that. Anyway, advocacy Zeus claimed that Hochul is duty bound to enact congestion pricing and that by putting it on indefinite pause, she is condemning New Yorkers to a future of pollution, and poorly funded public transit. According to sources, Hochul is eyeing a revised version of congestion pricing with a new pricing scheme and more such as for cops and teachers. More details are expected to be released, um, which already happened after the election. This is more of a recap. So, like the majority of New Yorkers, Governor Hochul believes that this is not the right time to implement congestion pricing. We can't comment on litigation, Hochul spokesman John Lindsay said Tuesday. All right, next we have we have let me see. Hold on. We have okay, okay, what happened here in New York? Okay, let's talk about that one right there. Um so um according to AMNY, before you tapped or swipe, ride was just a token away. This week marks 71 years. 71 years since the subway token was introduced. The now obsolete way of paying for your ride was used up until 2003. Started in 1953 as the fare increased to 15 cents. Since there wasn't a 15-cent coin, the Transit Authority created their own currency system, the token. Throughout the 50 tokens, there were six main designs. Um, Y cut tokens in 1950. First token was designed by New York City transit employer Louis A. Schneller, um, who had a background in graphic design. Inspired by these tokens, it was made of solid brass and the size of a dime, so turnstiles did not have to be altered. Jody Shapiro, curator at the New York Transit Museum. The Y cut out of its center made it easy to recognize tokens by touch. The museum is also home to the Ticket to Ride exhibit, where you can see collection of tokens and the evolution of fare collection in the New York City, the New York transit system. This first rendition was used for 17 years until 1970, even after the fare was raised to 20 cents in 1966. Quarter quarter size cut out token 1970. As the fare increased, so did the size of the token in 1970. Commuters paid the 30-cent fare with a token the size of a quarter. It maintained the same design with the famous Y cutout and was used until the end of the decade. Diamond Jubilee token 1978. Despite the grittiness of New York in the 1970s, the subway tried to shine bright like a diamond to mark its Diamond Jubilee anniversary. In honor of 75 years of service, there was a commemorative token that could be used for the fair. Former design director of J.C. Penney an offer to the MTA of designing the special token for free, honoring the history of the subway. Bonnell added two images that represented the system when it opened in 1904, including an IRT car and original station kiosk. At the top of the token, there was a diamond cutout. Quarter sized solid token in 1980. With the new decade came the arrival of a new token and a higher fare. By 1980, it cost commuters 60 cents for a ride, and they would pay for it with the quarter sized solid token. The major difference with this design was no Y cutout. That change was not for an aesthetic reason, but rather a practical one that impacted um, commuters. Shapiro explains that the cutout from older um, versions of tokens would trap lint from people's pockets. That lint eventually clogged turnstiles. The solid tokens also introduced a new system rather, for commuters. The MTA was the MTA sold packages of 10 tokens so they could buy multiple rides at a time. The bullseye token. The MTA wanted to target fare evasion with the bullseye token in 1986, with the fare costing $1. It was made with a brass rind and a steel center, which made it magnetic and could be detected by the turnstile. There was a last minute unauthorized design change to the token. Assistant controller of the New York City Transit, Sylvester J. Um, DuBose, added his initials. He claimed the addition helped anti-counterfeiting measures, Shapiro said. The first round of production made 60 million tokens, but when DuBose initials were realized and additional million, excuse me, 30 million were made without the SJD on them. The despite the MetroCard already being introduced, the MTA issued a new token with fare increase to $1.50. It was known as the five token with a cutout in the middle shaped as a pentagon, which represented the five boroughs. 60 million were minted in a two-part process, Shapiro said. The solid token was struck first, then the pentagonal to dispel people from trying to make counterfeits. The tokens were made with a special iron metal that made them a little magnetic. The turnstiles, which were called the workhorse and are in most subway stations today, were able to detect the exact amount of iron in the token. If it was a counterfeit or slug, as the MTA called them, it would then fall into the token return slot. All right. Um, okay, so next we have e-bikes. Now this one is crazy. Excuse me. So, according to the Gothamist, e-bike battery charging cabinets will appear in front of businesses and residential buildings by next year, officials said Monday, as the city seeks to prevent lethal fires from delivery workers' lithium ion batteries. The city plans to allow business owners to install charging cabinets on the sidewalks in front of their properties where delivery workers could either recharge their batteries or swap out depleted ones. Such cabinets already operate as part of a pilot program at a handful of locations in the city, including Cooper Square in Manhattan, where Mayor Eric Adams joined fire and transportation officials for the Monday announcement. Since 2019, there have been more than 700 fires caused by the lithium ion batteries in the city, resulting in 29 deaths and nearly 450 injuries, according to Adams. Faulty batteries, sometimes using mismatched chargers, are prone to explosions that are hard to extinguish. Damn. Damn, that's crazy. This is some crazy shit, you know? Wow. Unless some people didn't learn their lesson from the battery fires from apartments and stuff, which is which is kind of dumb in a way. I digress, man. Um, let's see. Okay, wait for it. Okay, here we go. All right. Where were we? Yes, last year the city council banned the sale of uncertified batteries and micro mobility devices, and the FDNY began cracking down on stores that sell such items which haven't passed safety tests. The number of deaths caused by such fires was 18 last year. There's only been one death officials say is due in part to greater public awareness. We are confident that we are going to get to a place soon where the deaths are zero. Kavanaugh said. One benefit of the outdoor charging cabinets, Kavanaugh said, is people will be less likely to charge batteries inside where fires are far deadlier. You don't keep propane and gasoline in your bedroom, and you shouldn't keep an e-bike in your bedroom either, Kavanaugh said. Officials also announced a $2 million trade-in program in which delivery workers could swap out their uncertified dangerous e-bikes and batteries for certified safe ones. This could remove several hundreds of fire hazards from city streets and apartments once it starts early next year, officials said. It would be the first trade-in program in the country. um So the announcement came in conjunction with a new $1 million public awareness campaign about battery safety. The ads in 10 languages will be online and in traditional media, digital kiosk, and public transportation. Battery charging cabinets are currently prohibited on sidewalks, but the city department of transportation plans to change a rule in the city administrative code to allow the cabinets on of the year property owners and commercial tenants like bodegas and ghost kitchens. Ghost kitchens. Oh man, ghost kitchens. That's crazy. Will be able to apply for permits to install battery swapping or battery changing cabinets in front of their properties, officials said. They would be paid a fee from the battery charging companies, which in turn would charge the delivery workers. That's interesting, man. That's very interesting. And yeah, I'm all for the ban. I'm all for the hold on. I'm all for the ban as far as like anything, but as far as like a campaign, as far as safety when it comes to lithium ion batteries and stuff, you know, I just say just I just say just do what you can, things better so there's no more fires. All right, let's go to the next one. An MTA conductor is held a hero, um, according to Yahoo News. So Teresa Footman, a rookie NYC transit conductor whose cool demeanor went viral while stuck on an F train for 2.5 hours, was recognized by transit brass Monday for a job well done. Conductor Footman had only been on the job 15 months, but she did an amazing job during the entire incident. NYC Transit head Demetrius Critchlow said Monday at a meeting of the MTA's board. Footman, who was in command of one of the two F trains stuck below Brooklyn after last week's explosion at the State Street substation, was lauded for her claim by multiple passengers on social media. Our conductor was great, informative, professional, sympathetic, and with good humor. Munoz wrote on X shortly after the incident. Give her a raise, have her train others. You've got a talented employee that deserves recognition. Passengers reported that Footman kept her passengers informed about what was wrong and regularly walked the train, checking in on strap hangers during the 2.5 hours before the subway was evacuated. End quote. Not just one customer recognized her work, several customers spoke to the caliber of her commitment, her authenticity, and her going above and beyond, Critchlow said Monday. You never hear that in the middle of an evacuation, he added. Speaking to reporters, job says she was just following her training. We are trained that after so many minutes have passed, you do have to walk through the train to make sure everyone is safe and to make sure they heard your announcements, she said. So that's what I did. Footman says she recalled thinking, if the passengers see my face, they'll be a little bit calmer. So she split the train between her and her train operator, and each checked on their passengers. End quote. We walked through, made sure everyone was medically safe, and answered questions, Footman said. What I made sure they understood was we are aware. We are in contact with our operations control center, and as soon as they give us an update, we'll update you guys. All right. I'm not on mute, so I'm good. All right. So Footman said she was surprised when her effort to keep her passengers calm went viral. Number one, I don't have Twitter, she said. People were sending me screenshots that was amazing. I'm not like a flashy, let me get in front of the news person, she said. It was good to see the recognition. Jen Oliva also praised Footman and thanked her for her cool head in a difficult circumstance. New Yorkers know when things go wrong, it makes a difference when you feel like there's somebody in charge or excuse me, or responsible who really is a first class professional. Yeah, congratulations. Congratulations to Teresa Footman for doing her duty and saving all the passengers, letting them be aware of what went down with the electrical failure while everybody was outside the F train. Um, so, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna give her a round of applause, man. You know that's pretty good. And you know something, this is something that I would agree with right here. So the NTA decides to get new cars. Um, so the no, hold on. Before I get to that, man. Before I get to that, let me get to the AI metal detectors, which was kind of weird in a sense, man. You know what I'm saying? it was pretty weird in a sense when I heard about this. So, New York City has officially deployed a metal detector powered by artificial intelligence in a bid to catch people carrying guns onto the subway system. And the program is already facing the threat of litigation by groups concerned by the implications for New Yorkers' civil liberties. Mayor Eric Adams on July 26th announced the long promised rollout of detectors, no, gun detection scanners manufactured by Evolve Technology for a 30-day pilot in the subway system. Not everyone will be required to go through the scanner, his owner said. It could be every fifth, 10th, or 20th person randomly selected for scrutiny, but those selected will have to go through the scanner if they want to enter the subway system where the tech is deployed. End quote. I want to be clear on this. We're going to protect our riders, his owner said at the Fulton Center subway hub in Lower Manhattan on Friday. Onto and leverage to prevent shootings in our subways. And this is about preventing mass casualty incidents. The mayor first floated deploying metal detectors on the subway following the 2022 mass shooting on an N train in Brooklyn, which I talked about episodes ago, and first demonstrated Evolve scanners, which are also in use at various concert venues and museums across the country back in March. The scanner was removed from Fulton Centers following the mayor's press conference. Spokespersons for the MCA, NYPD, and City Hall would not say where it had been taken. An Adams spokesperson said that the single Evolve scanner will be moved to different stops around the city over the next 30 days, and the location won't be announced ahead of time in a bid to keep those packing heat on their toes. His owner, a self described tech geek, has previously said the tech may be deployed in areas that record high volumes of gunshots detected by Shot Spotter, another piece of tech used all around the city that is known for high rates of false positives. The mayor said he suspects that subway riders, if told the purpose of the scanners, would be supportive of them. If you would speak to the average subway rider, they would state they don't want guns on their system, said his owner. If it means using scanners, then bring the scan. President TJ Vellante said he didn't see the metal detectors as cumbersome, but wondered if it came at the cost of civil liberties. End quote. I don't see why it would be that much of an inconvenience for me to do, and it would make compromise some of our privacy for freedom. It's always the question, right? Others, though, see the device as security theater, especially when crime is just a small fraction of crime that occurs on the street. I've been taking the subway every day of my life, okay? Maybe God is on my side. I don't even know, but all I do know is there hasn't been any issues, said Staten Islander Audra Morales. I take it in the morning. I take different trains. I take it at night. On different days, nothing has happened. This false narrative has got to stop. His owner has frequently invoked New Yorkers' perception of the subways as dangerous in a bid to ramp up law enforcement. Adams has deployed thousands of additional NYPD cops into the system and utilized other newfangled tech in a bid to reduce anxiety in the system, such as a 400 robot that had to be accompanied by officers at all times during its tour in Times Square and was quietly retired after. There's also lingering concerns both over the Evolve devices' um, efficacy at detecting guns and potential violations of strap hangers' constitutional rights. In a previous test of evolve scanners at Jacoby Hospital in the Bronx. 85% of alarms triggered by the scanners turned out to be positives. The scanners have also previously failed to distinguish between handguns and laptops, specifically Google's Chromebooks, due to the shape of that computer's hinges, Vice reported. The company has been sued by a high school student in upstate Utica after a scanner failed to catch a knife that was later used to stab him. It also faces separate regulatory inquiries from the Federal Trade Commission and scrutiny and Exchange Commission over concerns the tech isn't as accurate as the company claims, plus a similar lawsuit from investors. Evolve CEO Peter George previously said in an investor call that the subway is not a place that we think is a good use case for us. Now, civil liberties groups are threatening legal action against the Adams administration over the scanner's deployment. With the misguided fraud and invasive technology now in effect, we are in the process of preparing litigation to protect the constitutional rights of all New Yorkers, said the Legal Aid Society and the New York Civil Liberties Union in a joint statement. New Yorkers did not consent to give up their rights or be NYPD guinea pigs for overhyped and error prone surveillance tech. We are prepared to protect the right of all subway riders to be free from NYPD intrusion and harassment. Steve Martinez, a Nassau County resident, said he felt it would be an invasion of privacy to be subject to search over a false alarm. I don't want to have an unnecessary encounter or be illegally searched, said Martinez, or be subject to a search as I'm going about my business. As for the specter of that's of far less immediate concern to him. It's in the back of your mind, said Martinez, but and finally in transit news, we are going to be talking about some new subway cars. The NCA decided to actually strap NYC strap hangers will be treated to more new subway cars starting in the new year, according to the MTA's 2025 to 2029 capital plan. Um, MTA officials said that starting in 2025, the MTA will begin phasing out thousands of rail cars that are at least 40 years old to replace them with newer train cars, such as the R211, which provide better accessibility, more passenger amenities, and fewer failures. Many subway cars still in use today are from the days of the first fewer no, excuse me, first ever MTA capital program that implemented investments to save regional transit from collapse. Today, those subway cars that play such a big role in the system's revival are 40 years old, and it's time to retire them. MTA Chair and CEO Jan Oliva wrote in the capital plan, which the agency's board approved on September 25th. State lawmakers, however, must still approve final funding in the capital plan in the new legislative session, which begins in January. With a budget of $10.9 billion, the MTA will order 1,500 subway cars, which would replace approximately 22% of the fleet. Um, the new rail cars set to roll into stations citywide will replace the R62 cars from 1984 that primarily operate on the 1, 3, and 6 lines, as well as the R68 cars from 1986 as seen on the B, N, and W lines. The new cars will feature wider entrances, brighter lighting, additional digital signage, and security cameras. However, it is not amenities. MTA officials say the older train cars are nearing the end of their useful life and fail about 6 times more often than new cars that are used within the transit system. Additionally, the new trains will be compatible with modern signaling, another priority project for the agency's capital plan. The MTA has already implemented the new R211 subway cars into some train lines around the city, including the 14-mile Staten Island Railway track. On October 8th, MTA officials rolled on the R211 S, specially designed for the especially for Staten Island Railway, which is an almost completely outdoor train. It replaced the R44, the oldest cars in the entire MTA stock that have graced Staten Island since 1973. The R211 train has also run on the line on the A line since March of this year. An open gangway version that has more open space has run on the C line since February. Trips to the suburbs will also improve as the capital plan calls for more than 500 new rail cars for Metro North and Long Island Railroad lines. The fresh cars will be fully ADA accessible and including wider seats and electrical outlets per day. Yeah, good luck with that one right there. Good luck with that. Um all right. Let's get into it right here. This is all right. So let me see what I'm looking at here. Um all right, so we can go into oh shit. All right, major global IT outage. So we can go into hold on a second. Hold on a second. Okay, all right, we're gonna get into another. This is the most bizarre shit that I ever heard. Actually, this is the most bizarre shit that I ever heard involving a crazy person who thought that this was a good idea to actually make a sandwich, a- to put a pickle on a on a bun. Um, I know what you're thinking, but I'll break that down in this segment right here, chatting on the jazz. I don't really have too many trending topics to talk about in this episode, but just bear with me. All right, so here's what's happening with this person on TikTok who thought this was a good idea. So, um, so the so um according to the New York Post, um is it Frankenbrin's monster? As it as if salted cucumbers weren't already having a moment. Um gherkin 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 Easters all over the US are traveling to a New York deli to try a sandwich that's literally in a pickle. Oh my gosh. Oh shit. Um, it has been Pickle Anthony Fiorito, the owner of Seven Brothers Gourmet in Oceanside, Long Island, which sells around 250 of them a day, told Gothamist. Oh wow. For the uninitiated, this briny frankenfood entails cured meat, cheese, and other ingredients sandwiched by two core out pickles. Oh my goodness. Like a savory equivalent of the notorious Luther Burger. Luther Burger. Oh shit. So a Luther burger is basically beef patties booking by donuts. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so yeah, this is ridiculous. So while this Long Island sandwich shop has been hawking these um umami-licious sandwiches since since January, they only blowing up thanks to a viral TikTok with over 4 million views. Oh boy. In it, um, a food influencer who goes by Gabby Parmesan. Gabby Parmesan. Oh shit. Now describes herself sandwich girl due to the clip's popularity can be seen chowing down on one of these um Corny Chan cocooned creations. This is seriously the best thing ever, gushes the foodie as pickle juice drips from the gherkin grinder. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This I don't know, man. This is something I would not recommend to anybody. This is not something I would recommend to anybody, but I when I look at that picture, the shit looks disgusting, man. I hate to say this. The shit looks very disgusting and gross. And I'd be damned if she went to the bathroom to actually puke all that shit out. Yeah, that part though, man. Oh my gosh. Wow. Added that she's had customers come from a as far as California and asked whether Stephen Brothers Gourmet would ship a sandwich to their door. Alas, Seven Brothers does not do delivery. Oh wow. Yeah. Now hold on a minute here. Wait, he says the lion's share of customers teen girls who've seen the ever-growing number of TikTok reviews of the pickle pickle hero. And it's not just New Yorkers who are clamoring to get us taste. We've met people from upstate New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, says Stephanie, an employee at Seven Brothers, told Nexstar. She added that she's had customers come from as far as California and ask whether Seven Brothers um would ship a sandwich to their door. Alas, Seven Brothers does not do delivery. Very interesting. Hold on a second. Let me get rid of this. Let's get rid of this real quick. All right. The sandwich has been the pickled cherry atop the ever burgeoning phenomenon of baptizing every food in brine. Gen Z, the kings of rebranding, have fomented a pickle renaissance thanks to gherkin related trends, including girl dinners, cooking fried cheese, and pickle wraps. Oh wow. Oh shit. Completing the hot pickle challenge and oh no, no. Oh no. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The hot pickle challenge. Oh shit. Okay, that's a good topic. That's a good topic though, man. Good topic to actually talk about in the future. And making chamoy spice flavored pickle kits. Oh gosh. Um, yeah, I'll save that topic for another man. Let's see. This is crazy. All right, let's go over the highlights of the San Diego Comic Con event. So, so according to Sideshow, each year, the creators and visionaries behind our favorite fandoms gives us a sneak peek at what's to come during San Diego Comic Con. And this year, the results were world shattering and absolutely exciting. Are the big highlights, biggest reveals, and many teasers and trailers from San Diego Comic Con 2024. There's something for every geek out there, from the furthest reaches of outer space to the creatures of our nightmares. Let's take a, let's take a closer look. All right, so arguably the most shocking revelation to come out of this year's um, San Diego Comic Con is from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The villainous future of the MCU had been widely speculated for a while, especially with upcoming Avengers films and a spectacular drone assisted appearance from Galactus over the weekend. Devour Doctor Doom and his followers stormed the stage in Hall H, only for the green cloak to be cast aside, revealing Robert Downey Jr. Played Iron Man under the mask, um, who who also played Tony Stark. So it seems Robert Downey Jr. will be donning Doom's helmet to portray the Latvian ruler. Whether there will be any connection remains to be seen, but Victor Von Doom always has some tricks up his sleeve. along with RDJ. The Russo brothers will also be returning to direct Avengers Doomsday, which is out May 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars May 2027. Plus the cast and director of Marvel's Fantastic Four film. The Fantastic Four First Steps told their audience that production would begin next week on the highly anticipated summer 2025 film. So stay tuned for that right there. So, new logo. Who's this? Along with a teaser for the fourth and final season of Superman and Lois, San Diego Comic Con gave us news about upcoming DC TV series as well as Batman films. Harley Quinn will return for season 5 this November, which already happened. My Adventures with Superman's third season will introduce Superboy after last season's Supergirl induction. Plus, an official teaser for Creature Commandos shows Amanda Waller, new Monster Squad, supernatural replacement of Task Force X coming in December. A teaser trailer for The Penguin also appeared. The Penguin will premiere. Actually, it already appeared. It already premiered on September 19th. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. And this Batman enemy will return in the Batman 2. Matt Reeves' sequel film scheduled to arrive October 2nd, 2026. So the filming of the Batman 2 has not been canceled. All right. Um, in related Rogue Gallery news, a female penguin will also be a part of Bruce Timm's upcoming animated series, Batman Cape Crusader, already premiered on August 1st. Okay. After the tumultuous events of season 1 of Lord of the Rings Power, season 2 will return on already returned since August 29th. So Middle Earth will be transformed as Sauron's rings and their influence infiltrate everything. Um, Critters really scored high on this year's roll of dice with an exclusive first look at season 3 of The Legend of Vox McKenna. Looks like our favorite gang of adventures will be up to their usual trouble when the Critical Role series already returned. It already returned on October 3rd. Make sure y'all check that out too. Plus, there was also a first look at an animated sequence from the upcoming Mighty Nine series. Not too familiar with that one right there. So I'm not too familiar with that. So I'm not too familiar with the Star Wars things. No, the Star Trek thing. Not too familiar. Um So, with countless panels and fandoms to cover, there are, of course, even more exciting teasers and trailers from San Diego Comic Con 2024. AMC showed a new The Walking Dead teaser for The Walking Dead Dead City. Now, the interview with the vampire is renewed for a third season. We also have a teaser of uh, Lestat's return. For Transformers fans, a new animated movie, Transformers 1, chronicle the legendary falling out between Optimus Prime and Megatron. Spin-off series for Doctor Who and Dexter were also announced, along with a trailer of Hellboy, the Cricket Man. Horrific new footage from Alien Romulus, and much more. What were you most excited to see and hear about from San Diego Comic Con? Yeah. So that's pretty much the highlights of San Diego Comic Con. All right. So let's see. Let's see. What should I do? There's a let's see. And we got it. So over the summer, AT&T had a situation. According to USA Today. So the call and text message records of nearly all of AT&T's cellular customers were exposed in a data breach, the company said Friday. The company said in a filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, it learned in April that customer data was illegally downloaded from an AT&T workspace on a third-party cloud platform. Hmm. Damn. Damn, that sounds pretty scary though. That sounds pretty scary right there, folks. And I'm not even a TNT guy. That's the crazy part. I'm not even an AT&T I'm not even an AT&T guy, and that's the crazy part. Oh shit. Oh man. Like, yo, I'm not even too crazy about AT&T. I'm not even a fan, um so I feel for those people, man. I feel for those people. Um yeah. Um Man, let me wait for this thing to load. All right. All right, here we go.
Go! Why? Oh no! Oh my god!
All right. Let's continue. Um okay. So, so the company said it is working with law enforcement to arrest those involved in the incident, and at least one person has been apprehended. We have an ongoing investigation into the AT&T breach, and we're coordinating with our law enforcement partners. Com- the Federal Communications Commission said on social media Friday morning. Here's what else to know about the massive data breach. If you were affected, and what to do if you are concerned about possible exposure of sensitive information. Yes, so here's what to do. So let's see. In the SEC filing, AT&T said the threat actors exfiltrated files containing records of customer calls and text interactions that occurred approximately between May 1st and October 31st, 2022. The company said that the compromised data also features records from January 2nd to 2023 for a very small number of customers. In addition to cellular customers of mobile virtual network operators using AT&T's wireless network and AT&T landline customers interacted with these cellular numbers were also affected. AT&T said it will contact affected customers by text, email, or US mail. Customers can also check their accounts online to see if they were affected. Um, yeah, so what type of data was exposed, you ask? AT&T said in a news release Friday that the data does not contain the excuse me, the does not contain the content of calls or texts, personal information such as social security numbers, date of birth, or other personally identifiable information. It also does not include some typical information you see in your usage details, such as the timestamp of calls or texts, the company added. AT&T also said that while the compromised data also does not include customer names, there are also they are publicly available online tools to find the name associated with a specific telephone number. At this time, we do not believe that the data is publicly available, the company said in the news release. Um, What should AT&T customers do, you ask? So AT&T said that as a general rule, customers should remain cautious of any phone call or text request asking you for personal account or credit card details. If you suspect suspicious text activity, do not reply. Forward the text to AT&T so they can assist you. Forwarded messages and won't count toward your text plan. You are a target of fraud on your AT&T wireless number. Report it to AT&T's fraud team. If you suspect fraud on another account, call the customer number on your bill for help. AT&T also says customers should only open text messages from people you know and trust, and shouldn't reply to a text from an unknown sender with personal details. What to do if your social security number has been exposed? While AT&T says social security numbers were not exposed in the data breach, customers who are connected about being exposed can follow this guidance from the Federal Trade Commission. Take advantage of free credit if offered by the company responsible. Get free credits Get free credit reports and check them for accounts or charges you don't recognize. Place a free credit freeze or fraud alert. A credit freeze makes it harder for someone to open an account in your name. However, it will require a few extra steps to briefly unlock the freeze. That requires a credit check. A fraud alert requires businesses to verify your identity before they issues new credit in your name. Continue to monitor your credit reports at annual credit. annualcreditreport.com, um, where you can check them weekly for free. What to do if your credit card number or bank account information is compromised? While AT&T said that personally identifiable information wasn't involved with the data breach, if you suspect your banking information has been leaked, the FTC suggests contacting your bank to close your account or cancel your credit or debit card and get a new one. Reviewing transactions regularly to check for fraudulent charges, updating any automatic payments with your new option. So there you go with all the tips for all you AT&T customers. All right, for anything that happens, just follow those tips. All right. And let's see. Let's see. And speaking of which, man, speaking of which, so the voice actor for SpongeBob, right? Um, Tom Kenny once kissed during a appearance at Motor City Comic Con in Michigan. The actor, age 62, damn, I didn't know he was 62. Shit, said the beloved animated character he voices is kind of the spectrum. A person who obviously on the spectrum came up to me and said, "I have a question for you, Tom Kenny. Is SpongeBob autistic? Is SpongeBob himself autistic as a character?" Kenny said, according to a video shared on social media. And I said, "Yes, of course he is." He added, "I said, you know what? That's his superpower. The same way it's your superpower." Hmm, that's a good point. Kenny, who also plays Patchy the Pirate in live action on SpongeBob SquarePants, previously reflected on why the Nickelodeon cartoon appeals to children. I think they like the character. They like that character. He said in a 2017 interview with Bleeding Cool, he doesn't have a filter. He does what he wants. It comes up a lot, actually. The autistic thing comes up, like at Comic Cons and things like that. Um, Kenny added, "I know autistic kids fixate on certain things and certain shows, but there's something about SpongeBob, and it's not just that SpongeBob is bigger than other shows." Roger Bumpus, the voice of Squidward, suggested in the Bleeding Cool interview that this has to do with the fact that there's a simplicity to the show, not only in the gags and the words, but to the colors and the drawings that might appeal to autistic kids or adults also. Um yeah, 20 years later, SpongeBob SquarePants endures as one of the best kids shows around. SpongeBob SquarePants, which follows the undersea adventures of the title character and his friends, recently celebrated its 25th anniversary. The show is still airing new episodes, and Kenny has provided SpongeBob's voice since the beginning in 1999. The actor has also voiced characters on animated shows like The Powerpuff Girls and Adventure Time. SpongeBob feels more real to me than real life lately, Kenny recently joked to USA Today. "I think Bikini Bottom is actually reality, and we're just a dream, SpongeBob and Patrick." Ooh, the hell? Yeah, SpongeBob on a second. Um, SpongeBob and Patrick. Yeah, SpongeBob and Patrick are having. Yeah, it's a Black Mirror episode. Speaking to USA Today, Kenny also credited the continued success of SpongeBob to original creator Steven Hillenburg, who died in 2018. One thing I learned from him is that character everything Kenny said. You shouldn't violate who they are or stuff they would do for the sake of a laugh. Steve was very strict about that. He always said SpongeBob was the hardest character to write for. He's so elastic, he's very complex. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. What else do I want to cover? Before let me see. Um let's see. Shall we cover um yeah, I don't know if I'm well, let me see. I'm not gonna cover let me see. Let me see. You know what? Let's go over I wanna go over all right, it's not that much to actually go on, but let's go to segment as far as the best movies of 2024. All right. Um I'm not sure if I'm gonna do worse, but maybe, just maybe. But which movies are the best in 2024 so far? I'll gladly go over it in the movie Man Cave segment. So here we go. Yes. Let's get into the best movies of 2024, shall we? Okay. According to Variety, there's a downside to our ocean of content culture. It can be overwhelming. Scan all those options. You feel at moments like drowning in possibility. Yet there's a serious upside as well. In cinema, it's not just that the endless options are enticing in their multiplicity. It's that a great movie can come almost anywhere. It can come from the heart of the megaplex, as several of our best movies of the year, like Inside Out 2 or Dune Part 2, attest. It can come from the indie world, the world of international cinema, the world of documentary, the streaming world. It can bubble up from the underground as the People's Joker did. It can come from audacious filmmaker taking his most radical leap yet. Um, so this is kinds of kindness, or from an audacious filmmaker who has settled into a sorry, new classism, the room next door. We like to think of our list as excitingly eclectic. What unites and defines every film on them is simply always the passion that got poured into making it. So let's go over this right here. Number one, challengers. Luca Guadagnino's top spinning marvel of a movie tells the tale of three pretty young tennis pros, their friendships, their rivalry, their games. It's about everything that can happen between three people, but it's not about anything more than that. It has no lighter theme, yet it's the most searching love triangle since movie since Jules and Jim, as well as the most sweeping and sophisticated piece of cinematic storytelling I saw all year. Guadagnino, um, in a bedazzling piece of directing, keeps the audiences both immersed and off balance. The car- the karmic tension of romance as it plays out among his extraordinary actors. Mike Faced as the cool, diff- diffident, upright art. Josh O'Connor, um, in the best performance by a male actor this year as the ardent bad boy Patrick, and Zendaya asserting the magnetism of her chops in a way she never quite has on the big screen before, as the fierce and fearless Tashi who comes between them. Um, Justin Kuritzke's script is a sporty maze that Guadagnino elevates into dizzying, eye candy poetry, surveying the rules of attraction from every side of the court, reviewing the unconscious surge of love's push and pull. Number two, The Seed of the Sacred Fig. Never heard of it. Never heard of it, but Muhammad Rasoulov's epic drama is a monumental vision of the corruption of Iran by a regime that maintains its hold through any means necessary, from coercion to homicide. The film's power is that it shows us this oppression from the inside out, telling the story of what happens to um a Borgias family when the father Iman, played by Miseg Zaret, gets the promotion that he and his wife, the upwardly mobile um, Najme, have been dreaming of. Iman is appointed to be an investigating judge in the Revolutionary Court in Tehran, which means that he must now rubber stamp death sentences for protesters. He's initially aghast, yet he's trapped in the machinery of fascism, and that's what he becomes at home, a tool of the regime, even as his teenage daughters Razvan and Sana are drawn into the oceanic wave of feminist protest triggered in September 2022 by the death in police custody of Masa Amini. The seed of the sacred fig unfolds with a um, Chekhovian precision and a matter of fact moral terror. When Iman's state sanctioned gun goes missing, the mystery of what happened to it transforms the film into a staggering domestic thriller, one that autonomizes the void Iran's um, the excuse me, theocracy has left in the hearts and minds of its people. Number three, A Real Pain It's not the first movie Jesse Eisenberg has written and directed, but it's the one that announces his arrival as a major filmmaker. Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin play cousins, once close, now distant, who come together to go on a group Holocaust tour of Poland. You, 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 excuse me. You could also call it a piercingly philosophical, raw nerve inquiry into how an event as cataclysmic as the Holocaust reverber- reverberates through the identities of families. I mentioned that it's also a scoldingly witty study of the kind of 21st century personality disorder that can be possessed by the most winning personality in the room. That would be Benji, played by Culkin, in a performance that's a high wire balancing act of charisma and annoyance, sensitivity and narcissism, verbal dexterity and mental illness. Eisenberg creates the kind of rippling, spontaneous dialogue that can stand shoulder to shoulder with Woody Allen, Ben Hecht, and My Dinner with Andre. It's the blessed sound of people saying exactly what they think, and that's the kind of filmmaking the world needs now. Number four, Inside Out 2, that made over $1 billion. 9 years ago, Inside Out was a trippy revelation, a movie that anthropomorphized anthropomorphized the primal map of human emotion, joy, anger, fear, disgust, and sadness, and miraculously did it with the candy colored confines of a digitally and an animated kiddie ride. But since we've now spent an entire movie in that Pixar version of the brain, the sequel do what could a sequel do for an encore? Inside Out 2 adds vibrant and funny new emotions. Envy and ennui, the scene stealing anxiety, as Riley, played by Kensington Talman, now a 13-year-old high school freshman, leaves her friends in the dust to cozy up to the cool kids on the hockey team. What makes this an even wilder adventure than the first Inside Out is that the film takes a deep dive into the metaphysical question that confronts teenagers in the social media age, namely when who you are takes seat to the desire to please others, then who are you? The movie investigates this conundrum as perceptively as eighth grade did, with a visual enchantment and sly hilarity that it's a thrill to see still define Pixar at its greatest. Um Skywalker's Number five, Skywalker's love story. I'm not even gonna go into all this because I never even heard of these movies. Um a complete unknown, number six, Timothy Chalamet. I'm not sure I would quite say it's a rock biopic as unconventional as its subject, but James Mangold's drama about the early years of Bob Dylan moves in its own beautifully haphazard way, uh, loping along with its legendary curly haired, sunglass, coffee house troubadour hero. Most of the songs play out in their entirety so that they literally become the story the movie is telling. And Timothy Chalamet is a revelation. He acts with an ornery sly attitude, rising to the challenge of capturing the pricky charisma of Dylan's inchoate. Antimatter, read between the lines personality. It's a transfixing performance that's true to Dylan and just as important, true to the logic of movies. We stare at this young mystery man who lights up a room when he sings, and we want to know what makes him tick. The film is dedicate delicately, engineered to that all the points of conventional biopic would cover are there. Yet the effect is that of a musical. Watching a complete unknown Dylan's journey into the light becomes ours. You can check that out on Christmas. People's Joker, gosh. Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into that right there, man. That shit was bad. Joker 2. Uh, Baby Girl, um, yeah, that's number 8. All right, sex, as any shrink will tell you, is never just about sex. And Helena Regens, no, hold on. Helene Rains, riveting drama about Romy, played by Nicole Kidman, a CEO who has it all. An e-commerce company she started, an adoring family, a husband she makes breathy love to, except that then sneaks into the next room to masturbate. Oh man. Oh man. To masturbate. Oh man, that shit sounds like jacking off, man. Anyway. Oh man. Oh my lord, that's funny. Um yeah, to grubby porn. Oh man. It isn't just the story of a corporate power woman who falls into a forbidden affair with a hunky office intern played by Harris Dickinson. Had that story been told 20 years ago, it would have been a cougar fantasy. uh, but Rain's shrewdly honest and enveloping drama about a sad hold on, sad Sa- Saddam masochistic. What the hell? Anyway, man, yeah, affair is really beneath kinks. A portrait of a society that's overly into the god of control. That Romy is trashing every rule that governs relationships in the workplace is, for her, part of the turn on. And the spark Kidman's indelible performance, which earns comparison to Diane Lane's in Unfaithful, is that she plays this selflessness as something fully human, the expression of a woman to compartmentalize, to put the different parts of herself together. Oh gosh. Um, Number 9, Bad Faith, nationalism, unholy war on democracy. I'm not even gonna go over this though, man. No. Number 10, kinds of kindness. Okay, this is suitable. More than ever, film critics now make a point of favoring adventurous art over mainstream popcorn. Yet it's funny how often the adventurousness falls within orthodox confines. Hold on, let me make myself comfortable here. Damn. Oh boy. Sorry about that. When genuinely adventurous, finding radical new ways to tweak and delight an audience, it often gets short shift. Excuse me, shrift. And that's just what happened with Yorgos Lanthimos is brilliantly executed theater of the absurd Twilight Zone mind game. For 2 hours and 46 minutes, I watched it in a state of riveted amazement, and I promise that you will too. Each of the film's 3 episodes, with the same cast members floating through them like figures out of a dream, is a puzzle the film hypnotically fills in. Whether it's Jesse as a dweeb whose boss, played by Willem Dafoe, makes qui- quixotic demands that are a logical extension of a corporate fascism. Plemons as a cop whose wife, played by Emma Stone, resurfaces as a sub subtly different person, or Stone as a distraught woman who has left her family to follow a kinky cult leader Defoe in a tale that tracks our obsessive compulsion to belong. Kinds of kindness wears its avant imagination lightly, yet it's a puckishly unsettling vision of a brave new world of dominance and deception. Call it rich things. Peter, hold on a second. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. So, obviously, Inside Out 2, number one, obviously, it made, yeah, I already talked about that. Hold on a second here. This is not. So, also another movie that came out this year is The Bike Riders. Like a stampede of wild horses, the Vandals Motorcycle Club travels as a pack. You can feel the rumble deep in your bones, intimidating, long before the herd pulls into view, at which point nervous bystanders tend to clear the streets. Excuse me. Um, Lest these rebels find cause to start a fight. Sure, they are anti-establishment icons, but there's a strict code of conduct that governs their actions, or at least there was, until culture took a turn and left these 20th century cowboys in the dust. Steering by photographer Danny Lyon's late 60s book of black and white Midwestern biker portraits, excuse me. Director Jeff Nichols watches this social microcosm slowly implode upon itself, the way the gangster world did across the Godfather saga. If that comparison sounds lofty, think again. The Bike Riders resonates on multiple layers, interrogating American masculine, ugh, masculinity. Um, damn. As Jodie Comer's awestruck Kathy falls for one of these stallions, observing the way Tom Hardy, offering a sensitive helium high take on Marlon Brando, and Elvis star Austin Butler doing his best James Dean treat their choppers. It's hard to imagine how women fit into their gearhead love triangles will be until the wife who comes between a vandal and his wheels. Honora, let's see. Yeah, Honora. All right, Honora, and also there's Dune Part Two. Dune Part Two, actually, which came out this year. There's a moment in the original Star Wars when Luke Skywalker looks out on the desert horizon of his home planet and sees two suns setting in the distance. It's a simple detail, but one that says so much about how his world is at least once just like ours, and unknowably different. Dennis Dennis Velen Vel Vil uh, Villeneuve Villeneuve's Dune is the first sci-fi franchise to make us tingle in the same way, and this 3 hour follow-up brings it all together. In the first blockbuster back after last year's industry stopping labor strikes, we were transported to another world as only Hollywood can. The film delivers a formidable new adversary in Austin Butler's Fide Rutha Blue Kool-Aid drinking test of Timothy Chalamet's chosen one's oneness and the incredibly satisfying payoff of Paul Atreides' sandworm surfing lessons. Still, it's the relatable human moments amid Villeneuve's awe-inspiring vision that bring Dune Part 2 down to earth, so to speak. Frank Herbert, pers- per, uh, purists are obsessed with telling you what's missing, but the real feat here is how dramatically the film simplifies all that arcane plotting into clear story beats, making the mythology feel almost intuitive, the way witnessing a double sunset did a century earlier. A man. Hmm. Okay. You probably recognize Adam Pearson from Under the Skin, uh, a condition called neurofibromatosis, which results in unusual tumors all over his face, has not prevented him from pursuing an acting career, which is also true for the character of Edward, played by Sebastian Stan, disguised beneath elaborate prosthetics, who's convinced his appearance is what's holding him back from greater success with work, romance, and overall self fulfillment. So Edward agrees to an experimental procedure which renders him conventionally handsome, but no longer interesting to the people who paid attention to him before. Um, Namely, the playwright next door, played by Rennet Ransvay, the lesser seen of two radical sci-fi fables this year, both confronting issues of body image in the film industry. Aaron Schimberg's grun- grungy dark comedy shares a "be careful what you wish for" message with the substance, but pushed all kinds of buttons about representation, identity, and casting. Jeez, Under the Skin. Hmm. Okay, Under the Skin. All right, Femme. I'm not too familiar with this movie, so I'm gonna skip that. Green Border. Let's see. I'm not familiar with that one either. Okay, The Room Next Door. Okay, some of Pedro Almodovar's fans bemoan the fact his new movies aren't nearly as in your face as those early punk subversive assaults on police society. I love the bracingly personal new dimension this Spanish director has dared to show us in recent years, and marvel that anyone might consider a, a film about assisted suicide to be any tamer than Atame. For his first English language feature, Almodovar cast monster talents Julianne Moore and Tilda Swinton as old pals bonded by a pact the former makes to accompany her cancer diminished friend through the end. At times, it feels as if the atheist filmmaker has ripped open his rib cage and showed us his innermost anxieties about death, legacy, and the faith of our planet. Frankly, we should all be so lucky as to go this elegantly into that good night. The Count of Monte Cristo. I'm not familiar with that movie, so that's all the movies that's been the best so far, actually. Um, so far, actually. So let's get into. Let me see. I want to get into. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see. I want to get into. I want to get into. I want to get into TV show checkouts right now, actually. So let's get into it right here. This this is basically a reboot TV show. An old TV show. I'm pretty sure y'all are familiar with Good Times, right? What if I was to tell you that this is made into a cartoon, right? If this is made into a cartoon, then I will have to break it down for you. Um, you know what I'm saying? Um, so so this is TV show checkouts. TV show checkouts. Let's do this. All right. All right. And all right. So in so basically, let me just break this down actually. So this new animated cartoon is which is based on the old live action TV show Good Times. Well, guess what? There's a new one which I will actually get to right here. And this episode is about Good Times going from old to the cartoon. Basically, old going from old to the new school. All right, so let's get into it right here. All right, so yes, Good Time is made into an animated cartoon. I remember watching a interview on Sherry's talk show when the original cast of Good Times had came by, and of course, um, talking about how it's not the same as the original TV show. This one is a little different. So, according to Variety, let's break this down. 50 years ago, Good Times became the first sitcom to depict a two-parent Black American family. Now it's debuting a, a present-day animated reboot chronicling the Evanses two generations after the original, set in Chicago's Cabrini Green projects in the same apartment from the 1970s dramedy. The series follows Reggie, played by J.B. Smoove, his wife Beverly, played by Yvette Nicole Brown, and their children, Junior, played by Jay Farrell, Gray, played by Marseille Martin, and Dalvin Slink Johnson by Slink Johnson. Black people aren't a monolith, and respectability politics certainly aren't the answer to racism, sexism, bigotry, and homophobia. Yet it's puzzling that this mind-numbing series is how creator Rhonda Shepherd is paying homage to such a classic show while trying to speak to 21st century Black people. It's also very clear why Netflix decided against sending out screeners for review. In the season opener, Meet the Evans of New, we learn about the new occupants of apartment 17C, Reggie, the grandson of Florida, played by Esther Rowe, and James, played by John Amos, is a struggling cab driver with hypertension and a penchant for long drawn out rants. Beverly is a parent's obsessed despite her family's financial struggles. Junior, the oldest, is an artist repeating 10th grade for the third time. Gray is wit, smart, and activist minded, even to her detriment. Finally, Dalvin is a drug dealing infant whom Reggie has thrown out of the house. The character was likely created to mirror Stewie from Family Guy. Of course, in charge of that cartoon is Seth MacFarlane, is an executive producer on Good Times. Yet casting, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on. Yet casting him as an infant drug dealer who sells crack on the street corners is neither amusing nor edgy. The first three seasons, the first three episodes of Good Times, which is when I stopped watching, are stuffed full of repetitive stereotypes, stale jokes, and bizarre choices. The apartment is roach infested and dilapidated. Meanwhile, most characters, including Bev's best friend, Lisa, played by Rashida Sheeds, um, Olayiwola, who owns a beauty shop slash funeral parlor combo, appear to be caricatures of Black people found in memes. Rise project, where this story is set, is also a wild choice. It was demolished in 2011. Um, if you are going to spotlight Chicago, it should be done with honesty and reverence to those who call it home. Good time and bullet riddled, but it's seemingly born out of a skewed gangster rap version of the city. Still, there are a handful of interesting components here. When Bev prays, a video game playing Black Jesus appears. Responding to or ignoring her pleas, the visualization is a direct callback to Florida from the original series, calling out to God. In episode 2, Black of Focus, viewers are an inside out visual into Junior's mind, which directly academic failures and artistic talent. However, Gray's however, episode 3, Gray's autonomy and autonomy offers the most compelling storyline. It chronicles Gray navigating her first period as everyone, including the first school nurse and Bev, tries to shame her about menstruation. Oh man, first masturbation. Now this. Oh shit. Oh my gosh. In the wo- in a the Wiz like sequence, this chapter addresses the hypersexualization of Black girls as fast and womanly, while taking direct shots at the end of Roe versus Wade through a Trump type character, um, Grady Oscar Piles, aka GOP. Shit, I know everybody's upset with the v Roe versus Wade shit that being eliminated. Oh boy, I'm not even gonna go there on that one. Anyway, Despite these few highlights, Good Times is overrun with issues. Some of these have already spilled into the public. The original creator, Carl Jones, wrote on Twitter/X that he left the project during development due to creative differences. Moreover, Yvette Nicole Brown, who voices Beverly in the series, is being attacked on the social media platform for just being a part of the show. The late Norman Lear, Bernadette, Bernadette, Bernadette Stanis, and Jimmy Walker, who played Delma and JJ respectively in the original series, have minor roles. Stannis has spoken publicly about watching the new show's trailer. I did a little voice for them, but I did not know it was going to be the way it is. I thought it was going to be different, she told the Hollywood Reporter. She continued, it's just a little here and there, but I think that they did that because they knew that their show was going to be like. So I guess they figured if you put us in there, it wouldn't look so bad or whatever. Black creators and talent have vast experiences across political, social, and economic backgrounds. Like our white counterparts, we can express our experiences as we see fit. Yet, amid the shuttering of numerous black-led shows, including rap shit that got canceled, Southside, and the Wonder Years that also got canceled too. Just to name a few, it's pathetic. Hollywood is championing depictions that reduce black people, racism, and systemic issues into one dimensional minstrel, lacking present day relevance. What's worse is that the writing in Good Times just isn't funny. The remaining 7 of the 10 episode season likely won't be transformative or strike a different tone than the first three. For one, the series fails to infuse humor and wit into everybody hardships, which has been done masterfully in shows including the Boondocks, the PJs, or even the 1970s Good Times. Moreover, the reboot has an antiquated feel, as if someone wrote the scripts decades ago and unearthed them in the present, barely adding tweaks or updates. Addressed, including money woes and Junior's undiagnosed ADHD, have been highlighted in copious black-led shows throughout time. Sitcoms like Everybody Hates Chris, Blackish, and The Cosby Show discuss these subjects with a brilliance that fails to materialize here. Reimagine Reimagining Good Times for a 21st century audience could have been done brilliantly. Animation a wealth of creative freedom, enabling viewers to see characters and their experiences in ways that live action doesn't. While the series' predecessor captivated viewers some 5 decades ago, these modern day Evan Evans are stuck in the past, unable or unwilling to connect with new generations who are still navigating so much and have so much to say. Um, of course, you can check out all 10 episodes of Good Times streaming on Netflix. All right. Let's see. Is there anything else? Is there anything else TV related? I think that's it, man. I think that's it. So I'm going to go to let's see. All right, we're gonna go into hang on a second here. All right. So we're gonna go into anything all right, we're gonna go into some tech. Let's go into some tech, man. You know what I mean? We're gonna go into some tech stuff, man. Hold on a sec.
Um, yeah, we're gonna go into some tech news. I want to get to that actually, so let's get to it right here. Um, we're gonna get into some tech um called tech mentions. All right. For those of you that's new here who don't know what tech mentions is, this is basically about stories in technology, whether it's phone apps, whether it's like anything in relations to phones, laptops, computers, and whatnot. And all that's going to be covered. So let's get into it right here. Let's get into it right here, right now, with Crunch Tech mentions. All right, let's get into it. All right, let's get into some tech, man. Okay, let's get into some tech, man. Some tech news. Let's see. Okay, okay. All right. So one in particular, according to Tech Target, um, has to do with CrowdStrike. Okay, so CrowdStrike outage, explain what caused it and what's next. So, um, a CrowdStrike update caused a massive IT outage, crashing millions of Windows systems. Windows systems. Critical services and business operations were disrupted, revealing tech reliance risks. What might be considered the largest IT outage in history was triggered by a botched software update from security vendor CrowdStrike, affecting millions of Windows. The outage will cost Fortune 500 companies 5.4 billion dollars. I repeat, $5.4 billion. Um. All right. So the outage occurred July 19, 2024, with millions of those systems failing and showing the infamous blue screen of death. Damn. CrowdStrike, the company at the core of the outage, is an endpoint security vendor whose primary technology is the Falcon platform, which helps protect systems against potential threats in a bid to minimize cybersecurity risk. In many respects, the outage was a real manifestation of fears that computing users had at the end of the last century with the Y2K bug. With Y2K, the fear was that a bug in software systems would trigger widespread technology failures, while the CrowdStrike failure was not Y2K. It was a software issue that did, in fact, trigger massive disruption on a scale that has not been seen before. What caused the outage? The CrowdStrike Falcon platform is widely used by organizations of all sizes across many industries. It is the pervasiveness of CrowdStrike's technology and its integration into many mission critical operations and industries that amplified the effect. The outage was not a Microsoft Windows flaw directly, but rather a flaw in CrowdStrike Falcon that triggered the issue. Falcon hooks into the Microsoft Windows OS as a Windows kernel process. The process has high privileges, giving Falcon the ability to monitor operations in real time across the OS. There was a logic flaw in Falcon sensor version 7.11 and above, causing it to crash. Due to CrowdStrike Falcon's tight integration into the Microsoft Windows kernel, it resulted in a Windows system crash and BSOD. The flaw in CrowdStrike Falcon was inside a sensor configuration update. The sensor is regularly updated, sometimes multiple times daily, to provide users with mitigation and threat protection. The flawed update was contained in a file that CrowdStrike refers to as channel files, which provide configuration updates for behavioral protections. Channel file 291 is an update that was supposed to help improve how Falcon evaluates name pipe execution on Microsoft Windows. Named pipes are a common type of communication mechanism for interprocess communications on Microsoft Windows. With channel file 291, CrowdStrike inadvertently introduced a logic error, causing the Falcon sensor to crash and subsequently Windows systems in which it was integrated. The flaw isn't in all Matic version is channel file 291 with timestamp 2024 July 19th 0409 UTC. Channel file 291 timestamp 2024 July 19th 0527 UTC or later does not have the logic flaw. By that time, CrowdStrike had noticed its error and reverted the change, but for so many its users, that reversion came too late as they had already updated, leading to BSOD and inoperable systems. Hold on a sec. All right. In terms of how the logic error was introduced in the Falcon sensor, the issue was a failure in the CrowdStrike development process. On July 24th, 2024, the company issued a preliminary post-incident review. According to the PIR, there was a flaw in CrowdStrike's content validator, component used to check the integrity of rapid response content update. That flaw enabled the faulty version of channel file 291 to pass validation, even though it had an error. On August 6th, CrowdStrike provided even more details on how the flaw was introduced with a 12-page root cause analysis. The report explained that part of the root cause was a mismatch between the number of input fields and in the IPC inter-process communication template for the channel file 291 update and the actual inputs provided by the sensor code. The IPC template type defined 21 input fields, but the code only provided 20. Runtime array bounds check was missing in the content interpreter, and the content validator contained a logic error. The that led to those errors were both patched by CrowdStrike after July 19th, 2024. Bounds checking came into the system on July 25th, 2024, while a patch of validates the number of actual inputs Inputs went into production July 27, 2024. Damn. So yeah, there you have it right there. So services were affected on airlines and airports, public transit, healthcare, financial services, media, and broadcasting. And that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. This is crazy anyway, man. Um, wow. Hackers and stuff, man. Hopefully they'll be able to get everything fixed. So hopefully they'll get everything fixed though. All right. I'm not gonna stay on this shit for too long, but let's see. All right, what do you say we get into some? Oh, wait. Speaking of tech, let's get into the Samsung thing. Let's get into Samsung. All right. You know how Samsung Galaxy Ring 1 came out this year? So, according to Tom's guide, all right, the Samsung's Galaxy Ring isn't even a year old, but if recent leaks prove true, we may see its successor as soon as January 2025. After all, Samsung did tease the original Galaxy Ring right around CES 2024. And with a Samsung Unpacked event rumored for January 2025, the Galaxy Ring 2 may very well show up alongside the much anticipated Galaxy S25 that's likely to launch at that event. Of course, the current gen Samsung Galaxy Ring is one of the best smart rings presently available and the nearest competitor to the Aura Ring 4. So, what upgrades might the new Galaxy Ring 2 offer? All right, so Samsung Galaxy Ring 2 biggest rumors cheat sheet. Release date prediction spring or early summer 2025 with a possible teaser coming in January 2025. Price prediction from $399 and up. Design, a slimmer design is possible. Improved sizing, battery life greater than 7 days. Wellness upgrades, rearranged sensor structure could result in holistic tracking accuracy improvements. Smart features, new features are rumored, but details are light so far. Samsung Galaxy Ring 2 potential price and launch dates. According to a rumor shared on the Korean search engine and blogging platform Naver in November by known leaker Lanzuk, the Galaxy Ring 2 is expected to be launched a bit earlier than originally scheduled. What does this mean exactly, you ask? The first Galaxy Ring was initially teased in January 2024 and launched in July at a Samsung Unpacked event. If the above rumor proves accurate, perhaps we'll see an official launch for the Galaxy Ring 2 in the spring rather than the summer. Either way, the chances of another January teaser seem strong. Let's see. All right. Pricing details on the forthcoming release are scant, but we'd expect the finger-based wearables to start at roughly the same cost as the current model, $399. The Samsung Galaxy Ring is already one of the priciest smart rings out there, so we don't expect to see further price hikes. Fingers crossed. That's a big if right there. That's a big if. Big if. All right. Okay, that's a big if. That's a big if actually. Come on. All right. So let's see. Samsung Galaxy Ring 2 design predictions. So the same leaker who says that the Galaxy Ring 2 will arrive ahead of schedule also suggests that the device will boost several design improvements, including a possible thinner profile and improved sizing. Currently, the Galaxy Ring sizing process is a bit tedious, so any advancements here would be appreciated. Samsung Ring 2 possible features. So we don't have any real concrete details on feature improvements aside from the possibility of battery life enhancements. Again, according to the Korean leaker, Galaxy Ring 2 will top its predecessor's 7-day battery life rating. Um, the Aura Ring 4 is advertised as lasting 8 days. Been our experience with it. With that, putting my money on the Galaxy Ring 2, offering 9 days of battery per charge just to stay one step ahead of Aura. Regarding features, the Galaxy Ring already offers useful integration with compatible Galaxy phones, including a double pinch gesture that allows you to do things like remotely fire your camera shutter or silence your phone's alarm. This smart functionality is one thing that really sets the Galaxy Ring apart from the competition. And I fully expect further compatibility between the Samsung's next gen Ring and smartphones. Ring 2 Outlook. So let's take a look at that. The original Samsung Galaxy Ring left us seriously impressed with its health tracking features, battery life, and design, but a somewhat annoying sizing process, limited start functionality with non-Galaxy phones, and a high initial cost kept it from being named the best smart ring of 2024, even if it is the best Aura Ring alternative. I don't expect the Galaxy Ring 2 to cost any less than the current Galaxy Ring. I also expect that it will continue and only be unlocked with of the latest and greatest Galaxy handsets. Finally, if you are an iPhone user hoping for cross-platform compatibility, then I've got a bridge to sell you in the East River. Oh shit. Damn. With that real talk out of the way, I highly suspect the Galaxy Ring 2 will offer additional wellness features to help users understand the big picture and small details of their holistic data. The device's energy score and sleep reports are some of the best in the business, and I only expect Samsung to add other metrics and reports similar in nature and value. Lastly, a possibly lighter design with improved sensor placement all seem like a real possibility. The same goes for a better sizing process. All right. Let's see what else. And Galaxy Z. Hmm, that's interesting. All right. On more than any other company has pushed foldable phones into the mainstream with its latest models, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 6, excuse me, and the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 being among the best and most polished foldables yet. But next year, the company might change its focus to a new type of phone, one that rolls. This is according to South Korean site the Elic, um, which claims that Samsung is working on a phone with a 12.4-inch rollable screen, and that this handset may apparently be launched in the second half of 2025. Site additionally claims that it will have an under display camera so you get an uninterrupted display. That much at least is very believable since Samsung has already equipped some of its phones with under display cameras. So will we truly get a tablet sized rollable phone from Samsung next year? It's certainly possible. The technology for this already exists anyway, as we've seen rollable concept phones in the past. This is also a logical next step after foldable phones, which Samsung has arguably come close to per- perfecting at this point. Um, okay. Let's see. Plus, um, Huawei recently launched a trifold phone, which is a design Samsung doesn't yet offer, and which allows for a much larger screen than a conventional foldable phone. In this case, one of the 10.2 inches, since Samsung wasn't the first to offer that design, it could make sense for the company to instead look to be the first with a commercial available rollable phone packing an even larger screen. On the other hand, we haven't heard much about Samsung's possible rollable phone yet, and the second half of 2025 is still, so we wouldn't yet count on seeing it then, if at all. If such a device does launch, though, it may do well so alongside the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, which we still expect Samsung to launch since the company has found success with foldables. That could mean an announcement in July, but that's just speculation for now. In the Samsung Galaxy S25 line to launch in or around January. So those are the next major Samsung phones to look forward to. Um, all right. So let's see. Let's see what else we got on the agenda. Want to make sure that let me make sure I get everything on the agenda actually. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, get to okay, let's get to okay, let's get to let me see what else do we have to talk about. Oh, Samsung rolling flip phone. Oh yeah, I talked about that. Let's talk about some gaming stuff right here, man. Starting with Xbox. In a segment that I like to call is yes, the video game entertainment newsroom. All right, right here, right now. So, starting with the Xbox story. All right. Um, Starting with the Xbox story. Even though I'm trying to finish this. Anyway, here we go. All right, let's start with Xbox, man. And what's the story behind this? All right, so according to Variety, Microsoft Gaming is increasing the price of its subscription service, Xbox Game Pass, across multiple tiers worldwide, and simultaneously limiting its day one releases to only the most expensive version of the offering. The Xbox Game Pass Ultimate level will raise its price by three, going from $16 to $19.99 for new customers. The core tier will rise from $59.99 for the 12-month pass up to $69.99 for the annual fee. Damn, son. Like, what? Why? So it took place. This took place September 12th. The price will change for existing members on their next recurring billing charge. A new Game Pass standard plan will be launching Xbox, offering more features than core, but fewer than the ultimate tier. For PC, new users will now pay $11.99 per month for Game Pass access, an increase from previous price at $9.99, while Game Pass for console will no longer be available for new members. Those who are already subscriber and have auto pay enabled will continue to have access. Damn, damn, son. Um, these these price changes, Xbox has also decided to only include day one releases of its upcoming games, including Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, with an ultimate plan. Other features limited to that tier include EA Play membership, cloud gaming on multiple devices. Um, um, Hang on a second. Yeah, yeah. Cloud gaming on multiple devices, and free monthly perks from Microsoft. The Ultimate and Standard versions will both offer hundreds of games, while Core will only have 25 plus titles per Xbox. Microsoft Gaming's decision to increase the price for Game Pass and limit the features of its cheaper plan on the heels of Xbox Game Showcase in June, where it revealed several upcoming games and a push to get those new games to Game Pass subscribers on release day, last week's Xbox Live outage, and this week's launch of the Xbox app on some Amazon Fire TV devices. Okay, this sounds pretty interesting. Bronny James, who plays for the Lakers, just took home a top prize in the gaming world, according the Los Angeles Lakers player participated in the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 tournament, which was held during the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas, Nevada. Bleacher Report mentions James outperformed Charlotte Hornets Grant Williams and Detroit Pistons Bobby Clintman during a drill contest that lasted 2 minutes, with James scoring 84 points. As a result, he walked away victorious with a $10,000 prize pool and a Call of Duty championship belt. Wow. Wow. $10,000 is a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? A lot of money. So the outlet also notes James had previously played in other Call of Duty tournaments and competed for a $25,000 prize in Warfare 3 back in May. Back in May. All right. So James' interest in gaming. Hang on. James' interest in gaming should come as no surprise. In fact, in 2020, he became a member of esports group FaZe Clan, Teams Esports reported at the time. He joined our newest member. It's a very authentic relationship that developed between Faze talent and Bronny directly, said a Faze Clan representative. As an avid gamer himself, Bronny developed time playing COD, Fortnite, NBA 2K, and more at a high skill level, and often with other Faze members. Everyone is incredibly excited to have him as not signed under a formal contract with Faze Clan to ensure there would be no conflict with his basketball eligibility in high school and college, as this was before amateur athletes were allowed to have name, image, and likeness deals. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where was that? It's important to Bronny. It's important to Bronny. Hang on. It's important to point out Bronny isn't signed to Faze Clan, explained Chelsea Norton, head of communications for Faze Clan. According to the Washington Post, he does not have a contract with Faze Clan. It's an organic relationship between the talent with Faze and Bronny. James confirmed his involvement on an Instagram story, writing at the time, "Me joining Faze don't change anything. Don't think it's sweet. I'm still locked, coming for heads." His father and now Lakers teammate LeBron James responded straight up, "Simba." Oh shit. Wow. Wow. That's funny. That's funny though, man. All right. So I 8. As far as like a collaboration into the sneaker company Nike. And this is according to the folks from Hypebeast. All right. So so the Tekken 8 and Nike Air Foamposites 1 Jin Kazama. It is so the colorway is dust / metallic dark gray / off noir. And it basically got released on October 25th. So here's a breakdown. So after the expected release period of the Tekken 8 X Nike Air Foamposite 1 Jin Kazama was delayed, we now have a firm release date and official imagery courtesy of the swoosh. The much anticipated pair, which is equipped with a reflective lighting motif across its upper, celebrates the beloved Tekken franchise after a Kazuya Mishima pair appeared previously. Release is the release is already out right. Well, it's already out right now. It's already out right now. So y'all can go to the Nike website. So via Nike SK, no, excuse me, SNKRS, what I think is short for sneakers, and select retailers at a starting price of $250 for more info. Review our initial breakdown. So origin story: Tekken 8 has been ramping up its collaborations lately. Recently, the game revealed a Gentle Monster collaboration shortly after the Nike Air Foamposites 1 reveal. Now, another pair has arrived, and it looks like it is arriving in a Kazama colorway. This edition sees the shoe arrive in a Photon Dust metallic dark gray and off noir color scheme. The shoe takes on a white foam upper shell featuring lightning details throughout to symbolize Kazama's presence. Yeah. Presence. Let's see. Yes, so the shoe also sees the word fate, contrasting Kazuya Mishima's addition to the word fist. The shoe will arrive in an exclusive packaging, further bringing the Tekken universe with gaming and sneakerheads alike. Watch out for the pair dropping. So yeah. And and actually there's more. Actually, finally there's some Grand Theft Auto 6 update that we got to get into according to Game Rant. So much of the gaming world eagerly awaits Grand Theft Auto 6, but some feel that Rockstar might meet the game's current 2025 release window. Shockwaves were sent throughout the industry when Rockstar finally showed Grand Theft Auto 6 late last year with an exciting trailer highlighting the highly anticipated sequel's characters and Florida-based setting. Since then, there hasn't been any other Grand Theft Auto 6 footage released, so fans have been left to pick apart the further clues about what to expect. The reveal of Grand Theft Auto 6 was undoubtedly one of the biggest gaming moments of 2023, and the open world crime simulator's eventual launch will likely prove just as monumental. Rockstar has stated that the team behind GTA 6 is aiming for a fall 2025 release, and many other publishers are said to be weary of putting out their own title at the same time as the future blockbuster. However, there is plenty of doubt that Rockstar will have the massive project finished by next year. Jason Schreier, who had previously covered Grand Theft 6 is reported online multiplayer mode among other aspects this week, recently went on Kind of Funny Games Daily to discuss various rumors, including those about GTA 6's release date. While Schreier hears that development of GTA 6 is on schedule. He personally feels that Rockstar will ultimately delay the game until 2026 and would be shocked if it indeed launches next year. Rockstar's history of delaying big projects like Grand Theft Auto 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2, both of which were pushed back multiple times before finally releasing to critical acclaim. Yes. Purely speculation on the part of Jason Schreier, who admits that by all accounts, Rockstar is still on track with developing Grand Theft Auto 6 for its planned 2025. On the other hand, there are plenty of potential factors between now and that launch window that could end up pushing GTA 6's highly anticipated launch into 2026. Rockstar has taken care not to give until it is absolutely certain that it can be met. What can be counted on for sure is that when Grand Theft Auto 6 does come out, it will be one of the biggest releases of all. The mere announcement of the game set the gaming world alight and led to revealed trailer breaking viewership records across social media, with fans still eager to hear more about Rockstar's next open world crime extravaganza. Yeah, look. All right, let me just emphasize this though, man, before I even go on to the next topic actually. If you are a creator of a video game, whether it's a video game franchise or whatever games that you created and stuff like that, um look, it's always good to take your time and you know try to work some kinks, work some things out with the gameplay, work some things out with the storyline and the trailer, and and it's actually good that they're not mentioning the release date, because there's no specific release date that's going to happen in the fall of 2025 or possibly pushed to 2026. So you know we don't know what's going on here. So as far as a release date next year and all other stuff, I will gladly bring it to this podcast platform. All right. So, to all the creators who creates video games and stuff, as far as the franchise, believe in yourself. Doesn't matter what the critics say, whatever it may be, man. Just take your time on your shit and just get it done, get it out the way, so you don't keep fans waiting, right? Just take your time. There's no rush. All right. All right, let's see what else we got on the agenda. Let me see what else. Let me see. Let me see. Yes. Yes. $100 million to reimagine. I think I talked about that already. So I'm not going to really discuss that. I'm not going to discuss that. So what I will discuss is some fun activities to do for the week and weekend. Of course, with Christmas looming around the corner. Yes, so I'm going to get into it right here. I'm going to get into it right here with this segment right here. Hang on a second. Remains to see. Yeah. All right, so here it is. Remains to be seen, man.
Remains to be seen, kid. Get it? Remains to be seen.
All right, folks. for all you in the tri-state area and everywhere else, like if you are from Connecticut, if you are from New Jersey, five boroughs of New York, including Long Island, are you looking for some fun activities to do for the week and weekend with Christmas looming around the corner? I got you with a couple of places, man. So I'm gonna actually plug in the website. I'm gonna plug in the website as far as where you can look up some fun activities and stuff. So that way you won't have to worry about being left out. So fun activities to do for the week. We're gonna actually get into it right here. So let me see. Starting with this. So let me see. So starting with this. Uh let's go to Schaumburg Holiday Market, whatever that means. All right, so visit the Schaumburg Shop Holiday Market at the Schaumburg Center for Research in Black Culture during the holiday season for its expanded market, which will have artwork, clothing, jewelry, stationery, and more for all ages, from small businesses owned by people of color and local Harlemites. It runs from November 8th and 9th and December 20th and the 21st. The 20th is a Friday, the 21st is a Saturday. Let's see. We're not gonna do it. Let's see. Jeez. Okay, so Raw like sushi. Okay, so when it first started in 2018, Raw like sushi was a way for sushi chef DJ Fresh Roman to combine his passion for music with his culinary expertise. These bi-weekly events have combined sushi with slinking grooves across New York. You can attend one at Manhattan Studio one each Thursday at the Last Call in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. If you are not into sushi, this might not be the night for you. But the Williamsburg bar also offers chili cheese fries and chicken wings on sushi and vinyl nights. Plus, on a lucky night, you might run into legends like Anderson Paak or Selecta. Between the variety of options to nosh on and beats booming throughout the night, you can't miss Raw like sushi. We got the Washington Square Park tree framed inside the park's famous arch. Washington Square Park's beautiful tree is a sight to behold. You can see the beautifully lit 45-foot tree throughout the holiday season, lit from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily. So also mark your calendar for caroling on Friday, December. Wait a minute here. No, wait a minute here. Wait a minute. This you mean no? Because December 24th is a Tuesday, not Friday. They must have got that shit wrong, actually. So it's Tuesday, December 24th at 5 p.m., not Friday. There's an error. So let lights. Queens Botanical Garden has a beautiful light show you'll want to see this year called Electric. With over 1 million LED lights, this illuminated trail imitates a lush garden with giant lanterns, including 40 stunning lamp scenes crafted by 150 artisans using 120 tons of steel and 150,000 feet of silk, and brings it to life with acrobatic performers, stone carving, an artisan market, and ambient music. And Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Um, The Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is a beaming and brilliant symbol of the holiday season. Tourists and native New Yorkers alike sure do love this towering tree. The tree will be lit daily from 5 a.m. to midnight. On Christmas Eve, the tree is lit for 24 hours, and on New Year's Eve, it is lit from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. The tree goes dark for the season in mid-January. More than 50,000 multicolored LED lights wrap around the branches. It's topped with a three-dimensional Swarovski star that weighs sparkles in 3 million crystals. Okay. Sagittarius soiree from Sun Moon Rising Wines. Yes, for you Sagittarius pop up from zodiac sign and Sun Moon Rising celebrates each star sign with monthly birthday parties. This month, the Sagittarius soiree takes over apartment 5 on Wednesday, December 18th, which is today. Designed in spirited energy of the Sagittarius, according to a press release, the soiree promises interactive experiences throughout the venue, themed, themed cocktail flights, and surprising small bites. When arriving at the bar, attendees will receive a boarding pass to celebrate the wanderlust every Sagittarius embodies. Even if you are a Taurus or a Virgo, you'll still find plenty to love here. Let's see what else. Original holiday tree, festooned with more than 1,000 meticulously hand folded paper ornaments. This year's foot tall tree at the American Museum of Natural History is inspired by the theme Jumping for Joy in honor of our 2024 leap year. The tree features specially crafted origami creation inspired by the museum's hopping, pouncing, and leaping creatures. Some of the pieces decorating the greenery include rabbits, kangaroos, grasshoppers, frogs, squirrels, and cicadas, along with those depicting iconic museum exhibits like the blue whale and Tyrannosaurus Rex. Jeez. All right, Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard in the 1950 film masterpiece Sunset Boulevard. Hollywood glamour is a dead end street, stalled there with no one coming to find her except perhaps to use her car is Norma Desmond, a former silent screen goddess who is now all but forgotten. Secluded and deluded, she haunts her own house and plots her grand return to the pictures, blinded by the spotlight in her mind. She is unaware that what should be a hungry audience out there in the dark is really just the dark. All right, so we got let me see. We got the Lunar Forgotten Fantasy. So back in 1987, an art amusement park featuring works from Keith Haring, Salvador Dali, Jean Mitchell Basquiat, and more delighted visitors in Germany. There were plans for, but it never happened, and the art was abandoned until now. That is, now you can walk through Lunar Forgotten Fantasy, a wonderland featuring a Basquiat Ferris wheel, a herring carousel, a Liechtenstein labyrinth, puppets, and other immersive experiences in this limited time installation at the Shed. Lunar is hands down the coolest art exhibit. It is on view through January 5th, 2025, with tickets starting at $44 per person. All right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put up this website where I got all of this from. So For those of you who are in Paris, Chicago, Long Island, no, excuse me, Los Angeles, the 5 boroughs of New York and Long Island. If you and of course, if you're looking for some fun activities to do, even if you are from New Jersey, Connecticut, or any other state whatsoever, if you're looking for some fun activities to do for the week or the weekend with Christmas around the corner, you can visit www.timeout.com. All right, that's www. All right. So I think that's going to do it for this episode right here, man. Um, I think that's going to do it for this episode right here. All right, we're gonna wrap up right here. We're gonna wrap up right here, man. In the very last segment of stream choices of the go, man. Let's get into it right here. And then we will reflect. I'm going to reflect on the 4-year anniversary of this podcast as I close this. So, as I close this, actually. So, okay, wait for it. So, stream choices on the go. Let's go. All right, make sure you follow alongside with Thread and other podcast shows that I do. That's also on Threads as well as myself. Also on Instagram as well. You can follow on Threads and on Instagram as well. The other podcast shows that I do are Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast, the Sports Edition platform that I actually do, and of course my entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Be sure to actually follow that, and be sure to subscribe to those podcast shows on the YouTube channel pages. And also you can follow me on the gram, which is G Money Stacks 555 in Queens, New York. I will be mentioning where you could actually follow the podcast. So I would gladly do this. So I don't have to worry about anything else. So if you go to the link in bio, Linktree/G Money Stacks 555, you're going to see a whole list of audio streaming platforms where you can listen, stream, and watch. So starting with Odyssey, Audible, Audioburst, Amazon Breaker, Bullhorn FM, Castbox FM, Deezer, Listen Notes, Moon FM Podcast, Overhaul FM Podcast, Player FM, Pocket Cast, Pod Bay, Pod Friend, Pod Hound, Podopolo, Podorama, Podcast Index, Podcast Addict, Pod Chaser, Podverse, Podcast Guru, Podvine, Snip, Spotify for podcasters, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Fountain, Radio Public, iHeartRadio, the #1 app where you can listen to radio stations and podcast episodes for free. You don't need a credit card or debit card to download iHeartRadio. All you need to do is actually follow and subscribe to the podcast on iHeartRadio. Do the same with YouTube. Make sure you grab that subscribe button for me on the YouTube channel page, G Money Stacks 555, for more live stream video podcast episode recordings. Of course, leave a like and a comment along with the episode topics, and of course, be sure to spread the word. Tell a friend to another friend. Listen, stream, and watch. Share. Add the podcast to your playlist. You can also listen on the go, whether you're going to work, whether you are on your way home from work, whether you're coming from classes, from college, whether you are coming from other destinations. You can also listen on there as well. You can also listen to the audio side. You can also listen to the visual side, which is the videos actually. And and yes, so you can enable alerts on the YouTube channel page um for whenever I am going to be on the air via live stream with new episodes and new topics, and of course, be sure to share my link tree with the podcast links on linktree/gmoneystacks 555, to your husbands, your wives, your boyfriends, girlfriends, the people you're cool with from work, and everything else in between. And that's gonna do it. And that's gonna do it for me, man. Listen, I'm your man G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Thank you very much for listening to this episode right here of Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast. 369 is complete. And remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it, because it's not going to be given to you on the fucking silver platter. Um, do what makes you happy, that makes you smile creatively, mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, that gets you into your zone alongside with ton of vision. And also remember, everybody's journey, there's no manual when it comes to your path and journey. And of course, if you are a new upcoming podcaster that wants to start one, please be yourself behind the microphone as you're recording new episodes of your show. And don't worry about being a people pleaser, and don't worry about money and stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about the number of views and all that other stuff, man. Don't worry about that. You just need to create a fan community base for your show. So you also got to ask yourself this: Are you doing this for the moment and money, or are you doing this on a consistency basis and having fun? Those are the questions you have to ask yourself. Also, I want to remind y'all, man, there is a fan movie screening tomorrow, December 19th, for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Be sure to get your tickets, because it premiered in London and other places whatsoever. And I really hope that Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, will demolish the prequel to Mufasa, because you know because everybody knows that Sonic is the most popular character in every video game history, and the cartoons on TV and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Also, before I get up out of here, I want to actually take a moment to say thank you to all the listeners, the streamers, the watchers, even on YouTube, for helping me reach the 4th anniversary of this comedy platform, off the Meat Rack Chainz New York Avenue podcast. I really appreciate every single one of y'all for tuning in, hearing me out on the topics and my analysis on each topics and stuff. We had some laughs and everything else in between. I'm going to continue this podcast journey, all that great stuff right there. So, and the reason why I say have fun with your podcast is because, you don't want anybody to stop you from being happy. I'm not doing this for just money. I'm doing this because it makes me happy, and it's therapeutic to your mental health. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate every single one of y'all for listening, man, and helping me reach that 4th year milestone. I am going to try. I am going to try
to reach the 5th anniversary and up as far as more episodes and everything else, because I was inspired by another podcaster from from her show, A Journey Worth Traveling. Be sure to subscribe to Kat's YouTube channel and everything else in between. And I hope y'all enjoy that, and I hope y'all enjoy this New York Avenue podcast platform like I did. And yeah, man. And like I said before, man, don't forget to get your tickets to the early fan movie screening of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, December 19th. All right. So I hope the embargo is off right now so y'all could do some reviews. I know some of the YouTubers already did their reviews already. So of course, let everybody get a chance to see the movie. So there won't be anybody to ruin the movie. So I hope y'all have fun in the Sonic the Hedgehog movie film. And I will keep track of the box office numbers. We hit Christmas and the break and everything, because I'm going to be taking off for Christmas and New Year's. I will be keeping track and do a little recap on Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and how it's doing in the box office in January. So I got y'all with that. All right. Be careful. Be safe out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll see y'all next time on the flip side in the next episode. Stay liquid. Be sure to, reach out to see if they need help mentally, as far as mental health, more support, and yeah. So that's it, man. Peace and one love. See y'all next time. And thank you for helping me reach the 4-year anniversary of this podcast, man. I will keep going. All right. And I will put the link of the website for Timeout in the community tab of YouTube on the YouTube channel page, whatsoever. And yeah. And yeah. So take care of yourselves. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie. One love. Good night, everybody.